What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Michael.
So we're back. I have a haircut. I'm old, so I had to cut all my hair off.
Okay.
So I'm not wearing a hat. I feel like they needed to know that.
I don't even know what to say to any of that.
Got him off guard.
Yeah, you did.
Here is another review for a book we got from Boom Studios.
Yeah, an advanced review copy. Uncorrected proof, which means there are mistakes.
There were?
Oh yeah, there were some grammatical errors in it.
Oh.
I was like, that's not right. Right subject-verb agreement in some place, but again, it's an uncorrected proof, so it's fine.
I was really mesmerized by the pictures. Didn't even notice.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, it didn't take away from. I got the intent of what they were saying.
Okay.
So we're talking about bury the lead, LEDE, as in the lead of a paper, not LEAD.
Or a lead of a story.
Yes.
Doesn't have to just be a paper.
I feel like this is about old school journalism.
You mean journalism?
I said old school journalism.
Not just journalism.
It's about old school journalism. I know what I said. Yeah, man. So we'll do non-spoiler, spoiler, all that. So non-spoilers out of the way first. I really enjoyed this.
I did too.
A lot. I am a sucker for a good noir type genre book. Whether it's a film or film book, TV show, whatever. I really like Veronica Mars a lot because it's like kind of it's got a noir feel to it. It's got a murder mystery feel to it. When I was reading this, I was just like, man, this takes me back. It's different from Veronica Mars, but it has the same overall feel in terms of a murder mystery and a young woman solving something, which was really
So
cool.
whodunnit?
Yeah, I'm always love a good whodunit.
Yeah, okay, Agatha Christie.
I do like Agatha Christie. Yeah.
Angela Lansbury.
Throw the paper
Or
away.
I should call you Tasha Lansbury.
That's right. Murder, She Wrote, man. Type it up and throw that paper.
So yeah, I liked it. I really thought it was, I'm going to be honest with you, I was really mesmerized by the art. Claire Fulton
The art was really cool.
was beautiful.
Yeah, it looked really good.
It really popped. It popped even though a lot of times the colors, the palette that, I'm trying to remember what the guy's name is, who used, so the art, it's illustrated by Claire Rowe.
Miguel Muerto?
Miguel used a lot of different color palettes. So like when it was like they were in the newspaper, it was very muted. And then it was like certain people were drawn vibrantly. And the murders drawn very graphic. But it was like almost like there were certain color schemes, almost like watching a film that mimicked, okay, this scene is for this. It reminded me honestly of a Steven Soderbergh film.
Okay.
How he uses colors, or even one of my favorite directors whose name I cannot remember right now. Michael Mann. Thank God. Michael Mann does a real good job of like shooting certain scenes with certain colors, and Martin and Miguel, I'm sorry, do a very good job of that. And to me, that's what popped in the book. One of the things I want to say is we gave the book to one of our coworkers who used to work at newspapers, and she said it is a little exaggerated, but this overall sense of the competition, wanting to get the story, they got that. GABY DUNN, who wrote the book, really got that down. She says that was really something she missed from working at a newspaper.
And Gabby worked at a newspaper.
Yes.
She worked at a newspaper. I think she writes stuff for BuzzFeed now.
She writes for BuzzFeed. She does some of their videos.
She has a podcast.
Yeah. She pretty much does it all. She acts as well. I don't think there's anything this woman doesn't do. Probably, I could believe she does anything.
She's an LGBTQ activist, which plays into the story.
Well, I don't want to just say activist. I would say, in her writing, her characters are very lived. They're not. You ever watch a movie and you feel like you're watching someone act, and they're playing a part, but you don't believe them as that character? These characters were believable to me. There's a lot of people, and you mentioned LGBTQ, they fit they're not stereotypes, and I think that's what to me really I liked. It wasn't a stereotype about newsrooms. It really was one of those things where they got that down.
Yeah. Anything you didn't like without going into spoilers? I'm trying to I want to get into it, but it's just hard to.
I thought I like a murder mystery, but I do sometimes think when people are doing murder mysteries or people doing thrillers or writing thrillers, they try to top like Silence of the Lambs. Like, I've got this twist. And I feel like they went a little, I don't want to say extreme, but they kind of went a little high up. And at the end, it didn't, I don't want to say didn't deliver, but I think they went a little too fantastic. And I was like, really? This what y'all doing? Okay.
I'm curious what you feel like was fantastic.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
With the murder, the woman who is accused of murder, who spoke to the intern.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was a little too basic instinct.
I felt like she was a femme fatale.
Yeah, I felt like.
Which I was like, yeah, that's what they're going for.
See, I didn't like that. I
Okay.
didn't like that.
Okay.
I guess I'm a little tired of the blonde bombshell who sits behind the glass, who's dangerous. Like, I'm just, I wanted to see something different, and maybe that's just me. But other than that, I really liked it. I really love the art. This book is not for children. This book is not for children. This is not a YA book.
No, this is graphic.
And I think the subject.
But it's not salacious, right? Like, I don't feel like it's just there to shock you.
Depends on who you ask.
I guess so. To me, I wasn't, and who am I to whatever, but I never felt like offended by any of the art. Like, it was there.
You got to remember, people get offended about everything.
True. But I mean, just for me, I felt like
for your
everything,
sensibilities.
yeah, everything was there, had a purpose. Just to
yeah.
like tell you about the characters and who they are, and I never felt like, oh, this seemed out of place. It was like, oh, okay, this is happening. All right, cool.
Oh, like I said, I enjoyed the book. I really liked it. I would read it again. I would own it. I would really like to see where the characters go after this.
For sure.
I would like to see who comes back, because there are certain people who left in the book. I don't want to give it away. There are certain people who you meet. You're like, oh, I wonder what happens with them. I would like to see a continuation of the story and see the main character as she grows, and I really like that. But for me, when I read a book, I'm not gonna say it's rare for an art to catch me off guard, but sometimes it is. In this book, it was rare because I really didn't expect much from the art. Because when you look at the cover and you look at the back, it's a proof. There's really nothing telling you how this is going to be drawn, and it was something that wasn't even on my radar. So when I popped it open, I was flipping through the page. I was like, "This is beautiful." It really grabbed me.
Yeah.
So I would give it 4 out of 5 reporter notebooks.
Okay. I give it a 4 out of 5 old school journalist hats with like the green that had the like press sticking out of it.
Yeah, I don't think they had those.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of the bookies who had the green hats and the things that were sticking out. That was the
I could combine the two.
I see
well,
that.
then just like the old hats that had press sticking out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would give.
Yeah, I was like, when you said green visor, I'm thinking that's the guys who take them tickets.
Yeah. Okay, like, not that.
You want to parlay?
I don't know. All right, but I'll give it 4 out of 5 too. Really enjoyable. Definitely want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's non-spoilers. You want to do spoilers?
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Knock yourself. I really like Madison Jackson, the character. She is just. There are so many things that she is, and they don't make a big deal out of her. She just is. She's a minority. She's Asian. She's LGBTQ. Again, things that they don't make a big deal out of. That just is who she is. It doesn't. It's not. I don't know what the word is. It's just there, and it's cool.
She just exists.
She just exists. Yeah. I think this book does a really good job.
And they're not like, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this book does a really good job of like. Not holding your hand.
What we should have done, like we did with Sparrowhawk, was probably read the description.
Yeah, well, it's fun.
So here's the description.
You reading it now?
I mean.
Okay. Sure. All right.
Dead husband, missing son, and the wife will only talk to one person. Cub reporter Madison Jackson is young, scrappy, and hungry to prove that she deserves her coveted college internship at the premier newspaper in town, The Ball. Boston LEDE, DUNN, where she fetches coffee for the night crew and dreams of her own byline. So when her police scanner mentions a brutal murder tied to a prominent Boston family, Madison races to the crime scene looking for the scoop of the century. What she finds instead is the woman who'll change her life forever.
You can't whisper to me because then they don't hear you.
Dyla Kennedy, celebrity socialite.
Dyla or Delilah?
Dyla.
Or is it Dahlia?
Dahlia.
Which one is it?
This white lady killed somebody.
There we go. This white lady killed somebody.
Now, widow, covered in gore and the prime suspect in the murder of her husband and child. When this white lady refuses to talk to anyone but Madison, they begin a dangerous game of cat and mouse that leads to the young journalist down a twisted path.
Take my book back now, thank you. What is her name, so we can know?
Right there.
Together? Dahlia. Okay. Like the Black Dahlia murders. Fantastic. Dahlia Kennedy. All right.
The white lady. The sexy white lady.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. They drew her sexy in this book.
They did. I think
That's what I'm saying.
They
The
drew all the
femme
characters. Characters had curves, you know. They did whatever. Even Madison has a dream about getting with her. That was her, right? In that dream?
I'm not gonna answer your salacious.
I mean, we're in spoiler territory now. Didn't when she's sleeping with Lexi? Yeah, I think you just passed it, where she had a dream.
So
about
I'm not
getting
going to that. I'm going to the actual meat of the story.
Okay.
So yeah, it was. I really liked this book. I really went into it thinking this was going to be honestly crap, because a lot of people do not get journalism right. They don't get newspapers right. And one of the things I did was I read the book, said nothing, gave it to Anne, who's our assignment editor, and who is a photojournalist and who worked at newspapers. Mm-hmm. She worked at the State for many years, and I didn't tell her anything about it. I just said read it. And she brought it back to me, and she was like, wow. And she said it reminded her of working in a newspaper.
That's
so
cool.
I think that, to me, so Gabby Dunn, bravo. Not that you needed us to tell you that, but you sold a actual newspaper veteran journalist on your book.
Yeah. So what did you think of the murder? You thought that she was too over the top?
I thought her cat and mouse thing was a little too over the top. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a little too over, but I did like the little tidbits that she gave to her. Mm-hmm. I thought that, excuse me, chicken wings.
Okay.
I apologize for
Are
that.
there chicken wings left?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah, they got
taken.
them goddamn savages.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's cake left.
I don't want cake. I want chicken wings.
Cake is actually pretty good.
I'm sure it is.
I had a giant slice.
I don't need cake.
I had a giant slice.
I'm sure it's delicious.
So yeah, I really liked her having to go back and talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked the relationship. My only one problem is I wish they would have done a better job of. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Showing how much the case and this story affected her
Madison?
personal life. Yeah.
You don't think it? I thought it did a good job of that.
Well, I think everything revolved around it, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit of her private life and how it affected it. You see what I'm saying? Like a little bit more of like what her life was like before she became the intern, so that as she was interning, you could see how the internship affected her life and how it evolved and just overtook and consumed her.
It's in a way, and it might be of a stretch. You guys are going to have to watch 2 videos now, because you have to watch this one and also a Sparrowhawk video, because she's kind of going through some of the same things that Art was, in terms of she's losing bits and pieces of herself as she's getting the job done, becoming something else, which is cool. And these books are in no way connected. I just think that's an interesting theme.
Although she didn't have to kill anybody in this book.
I mean, that could be in book 2, man. Who knows?
And hold on, I said she'd have to kill anybody in this book.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, she didn't kill anybody in this book, but she did some stuff that she hated. That cop that she kind of likes, kind of whatever. Well, she was kind of a jerk to him and did, some crappy things to him.
Well, I will say this: she did what she thought she needed to do to get where she thought she needed to be, and I don't have a problem with what she did with the cop, so to speak. I have a problem with what she did with her fellow journalist.
To Lexington?
Yeah.
What'd she do to Lexington? AKA Lexi.
I don't want to say.
We're in spoilers now.
I don't want to spoil it. I want them to read it.
We're in spoilers. What?
I don't like how she's effed her over.
And how did she F her over? Because I didn't get, what do you feel like she did?
You don't think so?
In what way?
With getting the story and then cutting Lexi out of the deal, and how she kept going back talking to the lady, and how she wouldn't tell Lexi what was going on so Lexi could help her, even though in the beginning Lexi did help her.
Yeah, but do we ever feel like Lexington was trying to get her?
I think Lexington was trying to get the story, and I think they were working on it together, and then Madison effed her out of the deal. And that's why I said that I feel like the cop, how she went about getting the story with the cop, I don't really have a problem with. One, because I don't care about him as far as like, because of how he kind of went at her at first. So they kind of had that adversarial relationship to a certain extent where she tried to keep it professional. He was trying to holler at her a little bit and trying to be nice. And she tried to keep those barriers up.
Yeah.
So I kind of got that. I felt like with Lexi, it was more or less like we're on the same team and we're after the same thing. Okay. But I felt like she allowed Dahlia, sexy white lady, to manipulate her. And she saw it because remember
she recognized it, yeah.
And she recognized it, but it was too late. She'd already ruined that relationship. And that's where I was like, okay, you just don't give a whatever. And I think that to me was the key, seeing her how she, and especially how she did her brother. But then on the flip side, I feel like her brother set himself up for that because her brother wouldn't tell her stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of different people keeping secrets from each other in the book.
I will say this book really shows what a conflict of interest is.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's something a lot of people don't understand when it comes to journalists and journalism. The other side of the job that we do plays into certain things. How you can't take gifts from people. How you can't, when you get information, is it on the record or is it off the record? What is my relationship to this person?
Yeah.
Do I take this information and give it to someone else who can use it to write a story? Those kind of things. Because remember, she leaked a part of the story to a competitor.
Yeah, to the trombone.
And so that was, and again, that's all to me what Lexi saw her doing was like, yo, I mean, I know I got my issues, but dang.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel she effed over Lexi.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not much to say about this. I mean, it's just a good book. Just read it.
It's very short.
Yeah, it's not.
Honestly,
it probably took me 20, 30 minutes while I was watching Invader Zim, I think, while I was doing this.
You were watching, I read this here.
Yeah.
I read this, I think I read this on my lunch break. Yeah, it's like, you can see the spine.
Yeah.
I really want to show you some of these pages in here, but we don't have anybody who could zoom in right now.
Yeah.
But I want to say
looks good.
It's a very well drawn book. The characters really pop. You'll see someone who you recognize in your daily life in here. I really liked, this is another thing too. I like the use of a cell phone in here. I think a lot of times when people do reporter stories or they do journalism stories or they don't write with technology in mind and how this affects the story.
Yeah.
And I think Gabby did a very good job of introducing a lot of, I don't even say a lot, real life LGBT characters and showing you how technology works in the news media industry.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is, even though in this book it deals with newspapers, I want to see how she has to deal with social media and how the idea of not just being first, but it being digital and it being online and dealing with our side of the business, because we're always in competition with newspapers to where I feel like newspapers a lot of times does a better job than we do at certain things.
Yeah.
And how when our business shows up at a story, what happens then? Are you in competition with us, or are you like, I'm Kobe, I don't need you?
Accuracy versus recency in terms of getting something right or getting it out first, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I would like to see that.
Yeah. Overall, good job. It's great.
Good job to Boom Studios. Thank you for sending us the book. Good job to Gabby Dunn. Good job to Claire Rowe, and Miguel. Again, I'm not an art snob, but I love a good book that looks beautiful, and I love certain artists. And Claire Rowe, I just became a fan.
Cool. He just became a fan. You can find out more about by looking her up on your own, I guess.
I've been trying to, but this
computer's not great.
Our
Yeah.
internet server's down here. That's why they put us down here.
Yeah. Okay.
So we couldn't do much damage. We can't be online a lot if we can't get online.
Okay. So like, comment, subscribe to the video because we got to go. We got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Shout out to Destiny, our compatriot in KGW out in Portland.
Compatriot?
Yeah.
She is our comrade, sir.
Okay. Potato, potato.
We don't use the word compatriot.
Potato, potato. But she's, you know, she gave us the idea to start doing some book reviews and stuff. She's doing a much better job at it than we are in terms of being visual and appealing and stuff with stuff. She's killing it.
Comrade Destiny.
Yeah, she's killing it. So if you like our stuff, or even if you don't like her stuff, go check out hers because she's probably doing it better than we're doing.
She actually reviews comics too.
Yeah, which you should be doing. I don't know why you're not. We'll talk about that off air. You can find us here on YouTube, also Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I appreciate you trying to tell me.
WOTX.com, and we out.
Do what I want to do.